Hi there. My name is Artemisa Jimenez. I go by Arte because it is shorter and easier. Welcome to Leadership Development. What is leadership development? It really just sounds like it is. How to make you or anyone a better leader. How do you go from a normal, non-supervisory role to a fancy one like your manager or supervisor? The actual definition of leadership development is a process of improving leadership skills and competencies through various activities. Great. Now, what does this mean? It means that as you develop yourself in the role you hold, we as supervisors and trainers want to implement leadership and use your skills and goals to provide it within you. We want you to move forward and lead. The purpose? Why do we think leadership development is important? Well, I can speak all day about the importance of employees holding leadership roles and the importance of that development happening in the workplace, but the general answer is that it helps to provide better business. I mean, most workplaces are business overall. Leadership helps solve problems. Good leadership in an organization provides innovation and bigger visions. Leaders attract and keep employees. You can learn so much from supervisors and managers that help navigate your workplace, but at the same time, teach you how to take on bigger roles and more responsibilities. This helps keep employees instead of getting frustrated and having it where employees quit. All right, now we move on to this big model. What is it? This chart is called the model of primary leadership skills, and it breaks apart in three main categories: administration, interpersonal, and conceptual. A lot of big words. Administration means the daily grunt of your job, the numbers, budgets, organization, and overall effective leadership. Like the work reads, administration is the top people calling the shots in your workplace. Some people even argue that it's the most fundamental piece of an organization. Interpersonal are the people skills. I feel like we've all had a job where your boss was not a great person and pretty much made your job miserable. Hopefully none of you have this job presently, but in order to provide effective leadership, you have to get along with your people. If you're in charge of sales, you must get along with everyone, and good luck to you. But for now, let's focus on the minimum. Interpersonal skills focus on the interactions leaders have with clients, coworkers, peers, and their abilities to communicate effectively. In order to develop as a leader, you must find ways to maybe not say everything you need to say or that comes up in your brain to maybe that employee who doesn't do a good job, but instead help navigate the issues and help train them to perform better. This process must develop through the people skills. Lastly, conceptual. This section is about working with concepts and ideas. This is about thinking and providing innovative development in leadership as well as vision, strategic plans for your organization. So more of the future, problem solving, creating vision, strategic planning, all of that. Goals of development. In order to identify what level your leaders are in, you must know which place they hold. Emergent leaders are employees who are just starting their leadership journey, but have the potential to become more. This group is eager to learn more and take on more responsibilities. Usually they tend to try to connect with supervisors or managers and express their desire to move up in the food chain. Middle management is a group that has already had a taste of being leaders and maybe even hold a supervisor or manager role. I hold a supervisor role right now, so I can say I'm in middle management. The goal for this group is to provide more leadership as they continue to develop in their present role. I like to call them seasoned. They know what it's like to lead people and want more. Usually, methods to provide middle management are exposure to higher work levels, professional involvement, action learning, leading a specific project. These are just methods to increase their development in their role. Lastly, we have senior leaders. This group is the top of the top, big dogs, whatever you want to call them. They hold bigger executive positions, probably have been at your organization for quite some time, or were maybe hired in a big role already. They know what to do, hopefully, and they do it well, which is why they get paid the big bucks. Senior leaders also tend to continue to develop their leadership, but it's usually through individual coaching or executive or educational coaching. Strength and weaknesses. Every aspect of everything has its strengths and its weaknesses. For this slide, we're going to focus on the good and bad about leadership development. Fairly simple topic. Leadership is all about moving forward, all positive. providing these leadership skills to employees who seek the responsibilities and challenges, probably through self-assessments, leading, mentoring, and coaching, just overall the development of your organization. Um, Through these methods, they can continue to gain confidence and move forward. Weaknesses include being able to recognize the weakness and actually addressing it. No one likes to be wrong, but unfortunately for all of us, we're all on that boat occasionally. How a leader responds to an issue is super important when developing their skills. This is what being a leader is all about: how to handle difficult situations and how to solve problems. Being open about constructive criticism or even the "hey, you are wrong" comments from others. We all know that having newbie supervisors always, everyone just always have their eyes on them, and people sometimes, unfortunately, are expecting them to fail. Application. After all of these discussions on leadership development, we must have a plan of action. Develop a plan and identify many things, including goals for both employee, um, with potential and the organization overall. What are the needs for both? What do they need? What do they want? What are their visions? Some people are comfortable in their role and don't seek promotions. They really don't want that type of responsibility. What type of leader does your organization need? Someone compassionate, someone very direct, or someone very structured? Maybe someone seasoned or even executive. There's different needs for every organization. An example of this, that in my line of work, I have a coordinator, and this coordinator is in charge of just the school setting and, helping kids be in class since all of our kids are in foster care. And when I hired her, I was seeking someone very direct and someone very structured. So I knew those things, and I was able to identify my needs for my organization in my setting. Continuing with application, which development method to use? There's many. Some that I mentioned here are mentorship, volunteering, maybe your peers or coworkers, task force, work groups, volunteering for extra experience, maybe even education, responsibility changes. There's just a lot that you can choose. The final step of application is to measure and analyze results. Just like anything, we need data to just provide, evidence and proof of something that we've, investigated or researched. Even when it comes to leadership development, we want to make sure that we are aware of our results, and, maybe you focused your efforts and your training and your resources on an employee that maybe just didn't fit the bill, and that happens in jobs. In my experience working in a foster care setting, it's not for everyone. So we do have employees that are like, thank you to everyone that saw this slideshow and listened. Leadership development can definitely involve, it's a broad subject, so it can involve a lot of things. It obviously is applicable in any setting in the workplace. It's super important. And yeah, if you guys want to know more